Mexico defeat Panama 1-0 with a beautiful solo goal by Santi Gimenez. And these are the type of moments, these are the types of, you know, progress and talent and potential that we've seen from Santi Gimenez, not just in Cruz Azul, but now in Europe. And, this is the reason the Mexican fans were so upset that Tata Martino didn't take him to the World Cup. This is why we're kind of upset that Jimmy Lozano hasn't given him that starting position over a guy like Henry Martin. Like Henry Martin for a number 9 for a Mexican forward, like all time. Like he's pretty mediocre. He's not the best. He's not the worst. We've had like forwards like him before, like Chuletita and stuff like that. Like he if he's your starting 9, you could definitely do better. You could definitely do worse. He gets a lot of hate, but he does do pretty good hold up play. And he was like 1 or 2 inches away from giving Mexico the 1-0 lead in the first 15 minutes of the game, 20 minutes of the game. So I do think Henry Martin is a decent forward, but I think he would be better as a sub. If you have Santi as your starter, you have high level player with a lot of energy. He's pacier. He could offer more stuff. And then once you start sending crosses at the end and you need players, Henry Martin can go body them up and use his size and stuff. But you know what? I'm not the coach. They could do whatever they want. But that's the reason that the fans have been clamoring for Santi Gimenez. He showed it right there. The pace, the finishing with the left foot, like the celebration. I feel like he loves the Mexican team too. So this is his first big moment with the selección. So hopefully this is the start of, a very successful career with the selección for Santi Gimenez. And overall, it was a good game. Panama, hats off to Panama. Like they played really good. Like this is probably the best I've seen Panama play. They were playing out the back. Their players were playing very physical. They had their chances, or they had their half chances. Like I never thought that they weren't dangerous. I never thought that they weren't really although Ochoa didn't really have any saves. He had 2, I think, and they weren't anything special. I did always think that Panama could have a little breakaway somewhere, or they always looked like they could string a couple passes and they were one pass away from potentially putting real threat into Ochoa's net. But want to give them props. They're definitely growing as a nation. Their football looks better and better as the years go by. And for Mexico, we got to take this with a grain of salt. Like I said, the U.S. didn't take their first team. Canada didn't take their first team. Mexico was missing some players, but the main thing we wanted to see was Mexico play better, and they did this Gold Cup, barring the Qatar game, which I did go, so I'm still upset about that. Just wasted my money to see 0 goals by the Mexican team. Anyways, it's okay to celebrate this Gold Cup. It's nice seeing the Mexican players, celebrate and have a good time. Like the ambiance of the team can never be, you can never, diminish the importance of having a good locker room and having players that have fun with each other and that are friends and enjoy, getting called up, and there's a good camaraderie to the team. So by all means, celebrate the win, and it's good. But Mexico just dropped a little video on their social media talking about I don't know. The video made it seem too much. Like they're talking about how we heard everything, and you call us the worst generation, but this is you guys still got demolished by the US 3-0, and it's still a bad summer overall. Although we did get the Gold Cup, like I said, it's not our fault that US didn't bring their A team and Canada didn't bring their A team, but when they did, we got spanked. We got cooked. And it was bad. We looked terrible. So winning the Gold Cup is great and it should be applauded, but it doesn't fix the problems that we've had. It doesn't erase that. If the US would have been there with their A team and then we punked them and then we beat them in the final, that's a different story. That would feel more okay, we're going in the right direction. Now it still feels a little incomplete. It feels like in college when you get an incomplete. It's incomplete. You got to hold that video that they dropped where we're on the right steps. This is the start of something new. You got to wait for that next big match, whenever that is. So I think they jumped the gun a little bit on that video that they dropped where they're getting all sappy and sentimental and we heard you and all this stuff. It's the Gold Cup. It should be celebrated. They did look better. but there's still a lot of changes that need to be done. We're done of hearing these empty promises. Like, oh, there's gonna be change, there's gonna be change, and there's no relegation in the Mexican League. Um, they keep appointing like all these coaches that the fans and the players don't want. The youth players don't get chances with their national team. They put these crazy price tags on Mexican players so that they don't go to Europe. Like, there's a lot of things that need to be done for the fans to be happy and to really, like, if you're gonna drop that video, like, there should be like, okay, we're gonna go play Libertadores, we're gonna go play Copa Sudamericana, we're gonna go put a cap on how many foreign players they could have, we're gonna bring back relegation, there's gonna be more transparency with the directivos, it's not gonna be just about making money, like, we're actually gonna, turn Mexico into a powerhouse. Like, we need to see all of that before you drop that video and you're like try to get all sappy and make it seem like everything's changed. Like, the only thing that changed between Mexico losing, getting embarrassed by the US 3-0 in Vegas, and right now was Jimmy Lozano being the new head coach, and the players seem to really react to that. But there's rumors, and the directivo dropped that video before the final on like Friday that it doesn't matter what happens, that Jimmy is not guaranteed or not guaranteed to keep the coaching position. So it kind of looks like they're not going to keep him. So, miss me or miss us with that little sappy video. Like, keep Jimmy Lozano or a real competent coach and make some real changes to the soccer structure in Mexico. Like, relegation, invest in the youth, let them go to Europe. A lot of stuff. So don't just take this Gold Cup victory and market it as this is the big switch that this is where we turned. Like, nothing really turned. Like, the players played a little better under Jimmy. The competition got weaker. We took advantage of that. We still need to make significant changes. But like I said, Mexico, it's okay to celebrate. Got the Gold Cup. They look better. Especially against Jamaica. Like, it's all good. Celebrate it, but I think they could have held off again on dropping that video. It rubbed me the wrong way just a little bit.